Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Harpal Kochur. Thank you so much. This is session number 8. We are going to go today into essay writing. This is for most people who go into college applications. I will tell you, they actually think, they literally believe that college applications are all about just essays. Okay, this is the biggest mistake. Most people will spend way too much time just trying to write very flowery English or trying to sound like they are the Arnold Schwarzenegger of life. And that is a very big myth. Okay. Focus all the time, firstly, on getting your academics in order, doing some interesting extracurricular activities. For example, like my daughter Dia, she's an 11th grader. She goes and she works at Jamba Juice. Okay, just working at Jamba Juice, and every weekend she has to go. Okay, every weekend she has to work over there. She has to play soccer. Every weekend she picks up some new stories because she comes home and tells me some amazing stories about what happened today, like when she learned how to drive a car and things that she has done in her life. So fundamentally, your application is about showing yourself as an interesting person. The essay is not going to create who you are. Essay just will take who you are and put the same in a vernacular, or puts an envelope around your personality. So you don't really have to work on an essay. It's just writing an essay is like an oxymoron. It's about just telling a part of your life in a way which people understand. That's what the whole thing is. Okay, so we'll explain what an essay is, what are the do's and don'ts, the 3 or 4 types of essays you have to do, what are the if scenarios. We'll look into brainstorming strategies, and then what is persuasive writing. Okay, these are important, which is the essay by itself is really, there are only 3 or 4 types of essays you are expected to write. Firstly, the concept of an essay is, like Shakespearean. You don't like a literary, like most students in high schools write essays which are very they are usually very literary, more like doing an analysis of a situation. What you're writing in personal essays and about colleges is persuasive writing. Persuasive meaning it's literally like you read Washington Post, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, whatever newspaper you read. If you see how it's written, they get to the point very quickly. Usually there's a good title, there's a point to be made, and a side you can see the author is taking. He shows some particular positions he's taking, gives some data about it. At the conclusion, he leaves you with some perspective where the reader says, I learned something new. It's usually never stupidly flowery English. It's very active writing. They are short sentences. They are not massive words, but they're usually good words of a vocabulary that you can learn. Okay, so that's the whole concept of persuasive writing. And then we'll talk about some essay topics that colleges, when people see those things, why colleges hate those things. Okay, so why do colleges? Yes.
So Harpal, so in this essay, you said it's like you're mentioning your character, explaining your character by mentioning your extracurriculars, calculators, and all those things, or
you are not doing. In a way, you're right. So I'll tell you what you're not doing. This is not easy stuff. Okay, this is an art. Writing an essay is an art. What you're doing is you are telling somebody a story that is showcasing some value of yours. When you go to a party, when you meet somebody and you start discussing something, say you discuss a trip you had to do at Costco, right? You will tell somebody something unique about Costco, which shows some value of yours, which they are learning from you, right? The point usually is not what happened at Costco, but something that it changed you into. Okay, I'm just giving Costco as an example because usually it's a very cliche essay, but the goal of your writing is to say something interesting about your life from which some values of your personality can be found out. Okay, typically you don't write a resume. Like standard mistake students will make is they literally start an essay by saying something, they find a hook somewhere, they find something interesting to write about, but then they somehow try to fit in AP calculus, their struggle with that. And when they went on a trip to Mohenjo-daro, and they also try to write about the favorite teacher and how their father was mean to them. They write everything in one essay. Okay, that is called the kitchen sink essay. You never want to write a kitchen sink. Always write just one thing, 1 or 2 narratives or montages of your life, and then you build it's called the hero's journey. We'll talk about what the hero's journey is. Okay, like we look at Harry Potter, you look at Spider-Man. It's a hero's journey. You start as a hero. A hero is somebody who is going through life. Something is not working out, or is living an ordinary life. Has a call to action, to a call to duty. He does something. Maybe meets a mentor along the way. Some situation happens where he's forced to learn from a mentor something. He learns something new. Now he's learned, he's become smarter. He gets into a situation where whatever he had learned is not enough. So he has to learn something from within. But now he's come back victorious from the thing. And what he has become as a person as a result of it is what you're showing to the story. Okay. That's the concept of a narrative. So there are 3-4 types of essays. One is a personal essay, which is called the Common App essay, which is a coalition app, common app. Everybody has asked you to write one essay. They say, choose a prompt, write something about yourself. That is the hardest essay. Okay. Then there is the supplemental essay, whereas, tell us about why. Or the Common App is typically an essay which most schools will accept the Common App, like 1,000 schools accept the Common App application. So they expect you to write one prompt out of their 6 or 7. Then you write, maybe every school has a couple of supplemental essays which they want you to write. Usually the supplemental is something about, tell me something unique about you, which is more like, why do you want to come to my school? Or they will throw in one more essay prompt like a Common App. Like Stanford will throw something like, you're writing a essay to a letter to your future roommate. What would you write in that, right? So it's still Common App-ish, but it's in the supplemental essay. Does that answer the question you asked us now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so why are they asking you to write? Why a particular essay? Why can't they just take your resume? Because most of the times resumes are very boring. Okay, resumes and transcripts are just saying what you did, not what you became as a part of that. Okay, so they want to know the inner side of you. They want to understand, are you an interesting person? Are you somebody, if you met somebody in the school for a cup of coffee, would they want to meet you again? Okay, that's why they're trying to find people who are going to make the campus a better place, which means people who are excited about life, people who are motivated to make a difference at the campus, not just learn. They want to actually, they have something unique in their personality they want to give others about as well. Okay, they want to test your ability to organize your thoughts and express yourself through words. This is very, very hard. Okay, most students have no clue how to express your thoughts through words. I mean, people are like, they rattle off, they throw in the kitchen sink, they blabber, but they don't get the point across quickly. Okay, I have seen students struggling for like 4 months trying to write a personal essay, and then they come to me, utter garbage is written over there. Okay, and then I have to literally start all over again with them. Okay, to figure it out. So the most important part is brainstorming, going through a strategy for your essays. We'll talk about what those strategies are. Okay, most importantly, just be who you are. Okay, you don't have, the very fact that you are who you are, you have led a life. You might not have survived a earthquake, or you might not have been good, you probably lived a good life, affluent life, but you still are different. You are unique in your own way. So know who you are, know your uniquenesses, and learn to flaunt themselves. That's really what about the essay is. Okay, and start early. That's very important. I go after my students like starting junior year itself. Like I even make some of the sophomores write some essays, not personal essays, but something about a subject that they are working on, or a particular trip they took. So I'll say, you know what, write about 6 lines about this trip that you took. I'll ask them like, hey, what was fun about this trip? What did you see over there? And what did it remind you about? And they'll say those things, and I'll say, okay, let me just re-say what you just said in an essay form. And they'll say, no, Harpal uncle, I didn't mean this. I meant this. I'm like, okay, this is great. So now we are having a kumbaya. We're actually discussing what you learned in this vacation, right? So, this is what you've been told, right? The do's. Try to be creative in your essays and be funny. I think you can be creative, but don't try to be stupidly funny, okay? Reflect on opinion, and, it's not, most students will do this stupid thing. They'll actually reflect on the what. They will write like about an essay. They'll write about, say, a trip they took, which, changed their personality. Firstly, that's bullshit. One trip doesn't change who you are. But if they're writing, say, about, maybe they're writing about they got bullied in school. Okay, they'll write like 90% of the essays about the fact that they got bullied and this happened and that happened. Like, what did you come out of it? What did you learn from it? Well, how are you a changed person? Tell me the hero's journey, right? Don't just get stuck in the first part of the journey. Keep going through the entire journey. Okay, write in first person, literally as if you are talking to me, right? Conversationally. And sometimes it's okay to even throw in a question saying, you're probably wondering, I did this, but let me tell you what happened here, because you are having a conversation with the person who's reading it. Give that person the respect. Okay. Omit anything that doesn't advance the story. Like, don't say the same thing 3 times. I see this in essays. They'll say the same word because they lack material. Students lack this, and lacking material is a clear sign you didn't do the good job of brainstorming. Any moron who just starts writing, saying, okay, I found a prompt, I'm just going to start writing, is going to get in trouble. Okay. You can't just start writing. You have to do the brainstorming. You have to go through the values process, think it through, and then start writing. Okay. Give it to somebody else you trust or edit. Okay. I honestly don't like to give it to anybody to edit. I like to, just tell people like, okay, read it aloud, watching, as you're reading it, and what you're inferring about me, tell me that. Okay, I like it that way. I don't like people going and saying, oh, let me read. And the worst is people who try to edit my essays or Shreya's essays or anybody. I hate it. But Shreya would give her essays to like 10 people. All her classmates would go and edit the essays. I'm like, that is such a stupid thing. I don't need people to change math, the grammar. I can figure it out on my own. Okay, I need somebody who can just tell me this is not showing the true side of who you are or something like that. Okay, follow the word count, but not when you start. I see students doing the same mistake. They're like, in the first draft, they're still brainstorming and they're like, oh, I have to be within 600 words. Like, that is so stupid. You can write 2,000 words. I can convert 2,000 into 600 fairly quickly. What I can't do is you writing 1,000 words of garbage, which really I can break it down into less than 30 words. Okay, because there's lacking meat. I need meat. I need your material. I can't create your material for you. Okay, these are the things, essays you never want to write. Okay, this is like, stay away from politics. You never want to write about like my faith, or it's okay to say when my faith got challenged. Okay, that's fine. But don't talk about how Jesus has inspired me and stuff, because the guy who's reading it might not be a Christian. Okay. Don't do, this is a big problem. Generic answers, very generic. If you're going to give me something saying, oh, and I was a changed man because of this, or something happened in school, you better go into the details. Tell me what you're meaning. Don't have to write like 6 lines, but in 1 line or 2 lines, explain detail. The point of writing over here is, the colleges are trying to see in 600 words, can you get a story across which is meaningful, which has action in it, which shows your writing and your synthesizing skills, which is what leaders require. If you look at Abraham Lincoln, you look at George Washington, these people, they could write really well, right? So good leaders have to be good communicators. That's the big point they're trying to get across. Do not just write your resume. Okay, if it's on your resume, it doesn't need to go over there. If you've done some extracurricular activities and you became a leader in some place, you don't have to say it all over again. But maybe your struggle to become the leader in that class or in that particular activity, you can talk about it. Never do this stupidity. I got an A. I was failing in this subject and I picked myself up and, oh my God, I got an A. Dude, I can see it. I can see it in the essay already that you got an A. Okay, I can see it in your transcript. You don't have to say it. Okay. This is the worst one, the mission trip essay, which is, I went for a week, or I went to San Francisco. I saw a homeless person over there and I was like, I have to change this thing. I have to change the world and da. No, how can one small trip suddenly change your life? Okay. Don't do these kind of things. The don'ts. Be funny, being funny when you're not really funny. Don't try to be, this is not a place to be funny. You can make a satirical statement, but that's it. Being too shy or modest, or being too much of a braggart. You just want to be upfront about who you are. Okay. Making stuff up, they can catch you. Okay. This is stuff really, the schools, if you think you are writing something which is going through the roof, they'll actually call you out. Okay. And Rick will give you some examples how he's actually made phone calls to the schools and called people out on that. worry if you haven't done anything amazing. It's not true. I mean, if you keep thinking, you'll find some good stories about yourself. Okay. Do not reuse other essays that you already wrote. It's okay to take the concept. Okay. But the flow is very important. You typically, for a school, you write like 2 to 3 essays. Okay. Just the Common App alone will make you write 3 essays. One is the essay prompt, one is your COVID essay, one is your, if you want to tell them something about the extracurricular, about some circumstances of your life. Okay, that's 3 essays. They have to flow with each other. If you have a supplemental as well, read when you submit the app. You will see the order in which they are being submitted. Make sure that your activities are overlapping or they are actually flowing from one essay to the other. You can't suddenly speak in one language, one first person in the first one and the third person in the second essay. Okay, make sure it all flows like a poem. Never repeat things which are in the other application. Now, you could, if you've given some kind of a prologue or just some explanation in the first essay, maybe you got maybe thinking about some topic and now you're filling it up in the next essay. That's great. Maybe you wrote one aspect of your piano training in the first essay and the other aspect of your life, what you learned for piano. That's okay, but don't repeat. Okay. This is what makes colleges really get upset. Okay, they see this bullshit all the time. Think of it. A dude is reading like 50 to 100 essays a day. They read this crap about reading travel logs, saying, "Oh, I went over here, I saw this, and that changed me." That they read too much of this crap. This is not showing your personality. All it tells is your parents have money to take you to Poland or wherever to travel someplace. Stories about how you recover from sports injury, they see it too often. Again, you can write it, but don't think these are very unique. This is what they see all the time. They roll their eyes when they see all this stuff. Okay, rehashing extracurricular activities you already wrote. Editorializing. This is Shreya used to do this a lot. She would say, "Oh, I want to write about Black Lives Matters and how the world is this." I'm like, how does it matter to you what Black Lives Matter was? You can empathize with them. I get it. But why would you write that in your personal essay? That has nothing to do with who you are. I mean, saying you went to a rally, you learned something is one thing. Okay. Firstly, political topics should never be written, and never give away your, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, 50% of the country is, not going to agree with you. Chances are pretty high the guy who's reading, or multiple people who will read, one of them will not believe in your political views. So do not go there ever. Okay. If you can write something in 35 words, the 8 will do. Yeah. Like, see this thing, this this thing he's written. I see students writing so much. They beat around the bush so much, right? And they want to make it small. They're like, "Harpal, you made my essay so small." I'm like, you were writing bullshit. So I took your 1,000 lines of bullshit, made it into 200 lines. And now you're upset because you have to think about what you have to write for the next 600 words or 400 words. That's what you're upset about. You don't want to spend the time to come up with a good storyline. You just want to repeat the same crap again and again, which I will not let you do because that makes the admissions officer very upset. Okay. These are some questions that people ask you, like, what if a personal statement is optional? Still write it. Okay. Rarely will it be optional. They ask you, what if I'm asked to write short essays? Absolutely. You have to write. In fact, you have to spend more time putting together the short essays. Like, University of Southern California has these prompts, which are like 6 prompts of like 50 characters each or 50 words each. Those take a long time to put them together. Okay. So make sure you work your tail off on those. The same rules apply. In fact, your larger essays, people might not read all the way, but your spikes, your essays, your resume spikes, and the smaller essays, they will absolutely read. So do not mess it up. Okay. What if you have a choice of essays? Okay. If you write the ones which play to your strengths. Okay. What if one of the choice is topic of my choice? Okay. This is the one which I see a lot of students making a mistake. Common App tells you, they give you 6 prompts where they actually say, okay, tell me about a leadership situation. Tell me about when you felt nice, yada, yada, yada. The one topic they will always give you is, you can write about a topic of your choice. Okay. I am telling you, do not ever fall for this. Okay. If you write a topic of your choice, okay, that is the easiest way to get somebody really upset, because first you're saying all the other prompts that I gave you did not really connect with what you wanted to say. So you better have a very good reason. Secondly, now this dude who's reading your essay, honestly, doesn't really care you get in or not. You're getting him upset because he has to think now, because you're coming up a whole new prompt, and it better be something very, very unique that the last 4 prompts could not. Because in his mind, he's thinking, lazy son of a gun. Did not want to write to the prompts we gave. He wrote it for some other school, the essay. He's just recycling it for us, which means he doesn't really want to come to our school. Okay. When you ask about your favorite things, tell them the truth, man. Don't tell them what they want to hear. They can see cheesy bullshit from very far. Okay. So just be careful. Don't be rude, but speak like a human being. That's what it is. They want to see that side of you. Okay. These are links to what your admission officer's day in the life is. It's a pretty messed up life. This dude makes like no more than $100,000. Okay. His life is pretty miserable. So do not make his life more miserable by writing bullshit. Okay. You should look at these links. Okay. How they think. Thinking like them is very important part of your goal. This is how I make my students do brainstorming. Okay. I literally tell them, like, I have about 120 questions of this kind, which I tell them when they start working on essays with me. I'll ask them some very basic questions. Okay. It's like, tell me about some of your friends in high school, or have you ever doubted your faith, or what do you like about your dad, or tell me about a time as a child where it was not a pleasant experience. Okay. Or what if you ever had kids? What's the advice you will give to them? These are questions to which my students can give me 2-line answers. Okay. Very soon, in like a 1-hour session, they'll give me 2-line answers, and I'll keep writing them down. And then later I'll say, you know what? Go back to those 3 things you said about dad, or when you said something that a thing you cannot live without, like your house is on fire. What's the one thing in your house you'd pick up right now? Okay. When the guy says, I'll pick up this one picture, like, tell me about this one photo. Why was that photo important to you? And they'll tell me about a story. You're like, okay, so what happened in that story? Okay, tell me what happened. So you start introspecting, and very soon you realize you see the guy's personality, guy or gal's personality. Okay. Persuasive writing is, when we actually write, when we talk persuasively, but when we write, we do a horrible job. Okay. So, nobody is a prima donna. Don't try to become like them. Just try to be who you are, act normal. I have seen students struggling for like three weeks with me, but the 4th week, it comes out like a poem. It comes out beautiful what they write. Okay. So writing is a process. We go through this whole iterative process around drafts and, pre-writing. We do clustering, free writing. So these are all different ways of, doing brainstorming, and we'll talk about some of these strategies, but that's what you kind of have to do. Okay. To get to the different drafts, but do this process of outlining and free writing, clustering of your mindset. It's called mind mapping. Very important part of your writing. But, look at like a sample narrative essay, right? Very important to give a quick, a topic to start with, what your title is going to be. But look how he's talking about softball, right? He's explaining, like, he's setting the stage over here, explaining that, stomach turned into a giant knot of fear. Okay, so now he set the prologue. There's nothing like, a horror movie over here, but he's in 2 sentences, he's got me excited. Okay, there's a giant knot of fear. I mean, why is he scared, right? Writer describes an experience that happened to him. See how he's building it. Okay, he's explaining now he explains a problem that he or she faced. Okay, then how he felt about it. Very important about how you felt. It's not all about just this. Okay, I didn't know softball. Okay, it's about how you felt, and ultimately what changed. Right. Nothing happened in the first 3 innings, but then later something started happening. Okay. Writer describes the events in the order in which they happened. So now you're explaining to the user how it happened. Okay. And then ultimately he's saying what changed, what he learned from this experience. So you have the beginning where he's saying, giving it a title, you're giving it the scene, you're saying what happened over here and what I learned out of it. It's a very simple, clean way of writing. So plan of attack for applications or essays. You want to research your topics, like, the brainstorming process. You want to go through that in May, June timeframe. Again, if you're doing scholarship applications, same situation, same thing applies. Brainstorm, and, once you have your topics researched, then you do the brainstorming. You come back, you do multiple iterations. Every time you do an iteration with your counselor, you go through a thinking process, you write your drafts, and the one thing we do is, after we do drafts, we actually finish the draft, say like, okay, this looks good. Forget it for the next 3 weeks. We'll get to something else now. Let's work on some other essay. And then when you come back to your brainstorm, you're like, after 2 weeks, it's amazing how much your thinking has changed. And you're like, what the hell was I thinking when I was writing this? Or you might have an epiphany which says, you know what, I nailed it. I got it. Okay. So that's kind of the order in which you want to go. What can the essay do for you? It really helps you personalize your own self-expression. You start, like, I've seen my students change as people, right? What I love about helping them with the personal essays is they actually, by the end of it, they believe, because what we write, we work together on it. And when they read it, they feel good about it. So I feel like the essay should not be taken as something, hard or like what's a pain in the butt. Think of what you're going to become at the end of it, because you will come out very strong, right? And that's how one has to think, get excited, not write for the heck of saying, oh my God, they've asked me to write right now, right? There's no need to panic. You've done this before many times. You've done introductions, conclusions. This is about you. There is no wrong answer you can give. If it comes from your heart, if you believe in something strongly, if it's a value you believe the admissions company should know, you should talk about it, okay? Again, the process explained, we are defined by our choices, how we write, okay? It reveals, what you write reveals about you, okay? So don't be too generic, as I talked about, right? You need to be, can't be too generic, too general, because that's boring, okay? This is what, so example he's giving is, look at this. It's all garbage, complete garbage this person has written, right? I get so much gotten in life through love and guidance, my family. What is all this rubbish, right? This is what the rubbish you don't want to write, okay? Why do these essays fail? Because they're too generic, too gender, too comprehensive. I actually, just 2 days ago, I was working with this one guy. He went gaga talking about his brother, his little brother, how he's learned stuff from his little brother. I'm like, dude, are you writing an essay to get you into college or your brother into a college, right? It's when things are not personal, you write about completely, esoteric stuff, or it's poorly edited, not good grammar, active, passive, commas when they should have had periods, lack of semicolons, not good vocabulary, you will get rejected because your personality is not becoming complete. This is the weakest link of your application. Now, essays don't get you in, but essays will keep you out, okay? If you sound boring. Brainstorming, you make a list of questions you have to come up with, editing is your friend. Focus, reread, support, take support of people, rewrite and revisit, okay? It's very important to do. Start your brainstorming sometimes with just a piece of paper and, don't start writing. Just start drawing it out, like, what we call as mind mapping on a piece of paper. It's a great way to get started, okay? Everyone needs help, okay? Nobody is born an editor. Nobody can write about themselves. People can write about other things, but writing about yourself is pretty hard. Believe in yourself and tell them your story, okay? If you've not gotten anything in order, okay? Like you said, pick 3 things from your room, talk to your parents saying, what do you think I could write about? What do you think about my personality you like most? Or what do you remember about me that you think I should talk to my admissions team? It's a good way to get started, right? And whatever people say, write it down. Don't just listen and say, oh, I'll remember this. You're not going to remember it, okay? Have things, have someone interview you, like about ideas about your life, okay? Write down keywords and phrases. Transcribe everything that you're discussing with people. Sometimes it's hard to even go back and read or listen to what you've spoken about. In fact, I hate listening to my own recordings, but, so like I'd rather transcribe and see the written thing, what I've spoken, versus, listening to myself, because I hate myself at times. Okay. Tips to remember, tell us about who you are. Okay. Not about your father, not about your mother. Like I had this one student last year, he got into Berkeley finally, but in his essay, he was going gaga about how the mother took care of his father who had a stroke. Again, like the same thing I found this year with that little brother. Like, dude, why don't you send your mother to this college? It's not about, you can talk about your mother for about 1 to 2 lines, how your mother has inspired you. But I need to know you, about you. That's super important, okay? This is your chance to add to your application. So don't just pick up stuff which is already in your transcript. You have to show something new about you. Start strong, grab the reader, have a point of view. Often I will see the point will come in the conclusion. And I'm not kidding you. Half the times I look at essays or students when they write, I literally cut and paste the last 2 paragraphs and I make them the starting. And I actually delete everything. I kill their first 3 paragraphs. I just take the last 2 paragraphs, because by that time they have actually started talking sense. They are connecting to the point. And I'm like, okay, now that you connected, now tell me what you built out of this. Okay. 5 myths. You must write about something nobody has ever written. This is bullshit. Okay. You do not have to, you can rewrite, you can say things in your own ways. Okay. There is a right way to every question, the right answer to every question. So think about the question. Many times you will not answer the question. You will answer something partially about the question. I have also seen answers which start off answering the question, but they will go off completely in a different language, completely off. Okay. You have to be funny, clever. Bullshit. You don't. Okay. This is a formal essay. You're getting a point across about a value. That's what it is. You're not making bond with him. You're not going to meet this guy over drinks again. Okay. You have to write this essay alone. What does it mean? Your essay will get you in. No, your essay could definitely keep you out, but it's not going to get you in. Okay. Common mistakes. You think of admission committee as stuffy old people that you have to impress. So you're writing big words and you're like, oh, I was excited about calculus and I was born like an Einstein and that's my personality. You don't have to impress too much. Okay. Trying too hard to be memorable. You're trying to make up. You start with a hook, a first paragraph, which you've got the person gripped. Okay. But now at the end, later it's like, as they say in Hindi, khoda pahad nikla chuha. Like you broke into a mountain and you finally just landed up getting a small mouse out of it, right? So you don't want to do that kind of an anticlimax. You're better off with a weaker beginning and making it bigger later. Writing a predictable or too generic. No. Forgetting that counselors, parents are your allies. What happens is students will, like Shreya used to do this. She would write her essays and she would spend like 2 days writing. And then she would come to me yelling, bullying me to say what I wrote is correct or what I've written is good. Okay. I'm like, if you just want me to say that, I'll say it, it'll go away. Okay. But the whole idea you're getting people involved is because you want different perspectives. The way you do it is by not investing too much time on writing the flowery language up front. You write a basic theme of maybe say 10 lines. Okay. Run it by your coach, your counselor, your English teacher. By the way, English teachers are not the best, I've realized. I've seen a lot of essays which come to me from saying, oh, my English teacher already looked at it, so this must be good. No, those English teachers will look at your language, but they don't understand what persuasive writing is, with all due respect to school teachers. Okay. I'm in sales. Okay. So I've done sales for a long time in my life. So I've had to write persuasively for a living and I've had to present it to executives. So it's a flair I had to build because I could not sell without that. So forget about what I should say. Instead, focus on what they don't know about me. Now, there's one thing about this entire presentation is right here. Don't tell me what I should forget. Don't focus on what should I tell them? Instead, focus what they don't know. What part of a journey do they not know about? Be careful with what you're writing. If you've been abused and stuff or something, it's okay to write in some way about, I got into drugs or something, if you have a good ending to it. But be careful what you write, but be careful what you write. That's it. That's all I will say over here, okay?